And good morning, everyone. Welcome to this day. It is September 10th, and we got some cooler weather for a few days. It's going to heat up a little bit over the weekend coming up. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. On our show today, we have Jules Elon from Third, and he's going to talk about several different topics that are going on with Third Mutual. Also, we have from the Village Library, Eileen Ordway, and she's actually got a few different things that she's going to be talking about and what's coming up at your Village Library. We have a couple guests on from the California Club, and they're going to be having a meeting coming up that you can partake in. And then we're going to bring you a segment from Breastlink. Now, there are no meetings today to talk about, so we can get right to the weather. And, you know, over the weekend, didn't get quite as hot as it was predicted. Really, we didn't get those winds, which was very nice. We got a little onshore, a little bit of offshore, a little mix, but it wasn't that bad. Didn't create any problems, and we're back to this nice cooling weather, which I like, I really do. And it's going to continue for the next several days. Look at as we especially go down to Wednesday, going down to 79 degrees, and then it'll start to slowly warm up. As we get to next weekend, we're looking back up about maybe about 87 for this area. So really, this week is very nice as a whole, and keeping it down a little cooler and very nice. And again, having the overnight marine layer coming in and sticking around, I actually like, because it just makes things very pleasant. Let's look around Orange County today. Same thing all around Orange County. As you can see, everything pretty much in the mid 80s, upper 80s a little bit more in inland OC. Beach is only about 75 as their average, as the marine layer is going to stick around there a little bit longer. San Diego, 83. Arrowhead looking nice at 79 degrees. And out in Palm Springs, where once again, they're just holding steady in the low hundreds. They've been I think in the low hundreds now for, I don't know, for a couple months, I think. They really have not gotten much of a rest from the hot temperatures out there. All right, we will be back in just a moment. Hey Laguna Woods, it's Ken.
And Lisa.
Did you miss an episode of This Day? Not to worry. Head over to youtube.com and search Village Television.
Here you can find each episode of This Day and other community programs such as Good Day OC, Discovering Laguna Woods, and much more.
Just click the red subscribe button, then click the bell to be emailed every time we upload a video.
Don't miss out.
And subscribe today.
We all know there's no place like home. You want to stay in your own home, but day-to-day tasks are getting more difficult to manage. Acticare is the solution. We are the trusted care partner in your community with 5-star reviews. You've taken care of others all your life. Now is the time to let us help you. In-home care is a safe and effective way to help you remain living independently in the comfort of your own home.
Acticare, responsive in-home care. Your first day is free.
We love to show people that our sight loss won't hold us back. Thanks to free classes at Braille Institute, we're returning to the things we love. We're connecting with the world using today's technology. And we're learning to get back in the game. Thanks to Braille Institute, it's about what we can do, not what we can't.
Get information about free programs available from Braille Institute Anaheim, or learn about our new center in South Orange County by calling 1-800-BRAILLE or visit brailleinstitute.org.
This is how we burger, brew, and cue. Pick a town. Arrive hungry, real hungry. Start with a massive burger. Charred, juicy, add bacon, a buttery bun piled high. Serve it up, wash it down. Creamy, hoppy, fruity, malty. We're not done yet. Cue time, deep fried, sauce soaked, pork ribs, meaty, tender. I'm full. Where to next?
All new Burgers, Brew, and Q. Tuesday at 9. Cooking Channel. Stay fired up. Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
Well, Mr. Jules Zalon is here, and of course he's on the third board, and we've got a lot to talk about today. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Great to see you.
The most important subject to discuss is the current board elections. It may seem odd since there's only 3 people running for 3 board vacancies, but there's something, this is very important. I want to make sure I read this because it's important. Ballots have already been mailed out. We have a couple of weeks before they are going to be counted, but it's very important to fill them out and send them back, even though the election is uncontested. Our bylaws require that in order to do any business, we need a quorum, which is 15% of the actual members. And if we don't have, and an election is business. So if we don't have a quorum, we're going to have to go back and repeat this entire process. And just in case anyone is unfamiliar with our procedures, it's a very safe, formal, and expensive secret ballot process. Last year, Laguna Woods spent roughly, the whole village spent roughly $60,000 on conducting uncontested elections. And we're doing it right now, 3 candidates. 3 vacancies.
That's right, last year was the same.
It was the same, right. And this election will cost us between $10,000 and $20,000. So while it may sound a bit peculiar, if less than 15% send in their ballots, we're going to wind up having to go through the same expensive exercise again. So whatever you do, please send in your ballots. If this sounds nuts, it's only because it is. In a logical world, people vote because they want to express their desire to select this or that candidate. It's your choice. You vote in secret. It's nobody's business who you prefer. But in our case, the only reason for voting right now is to make sure that we reach this 15%.
Yes.
Because otherwise we're going to be going on and on and on. It may surprise you, but Third has a bylaw that actually handles this exact situation. And it provides that when the number of candidates is equal to or less than the number of vacancies, we don't have an election. The candidates are simply declared elected. In that situation, which is what we face right now, there's no membership vote. Okay, so why do we have to spend all this money in the first place? Because our lawyers say we have to. There is a state statute that requires that, and here's what it says: election and removal of directors shall be held by secret ballot according to a formal procedure. That's the whole reason we go through this, because we supposedly have to. But a good argument can be made that the statute doesn't apply in this situation because our bylaws anticipated that if there is a declaration, then there is no vote cast by the membership. And if there's no vote cast by the membership, we don't have to go through this formality. And if we followed our bylaws and just declared those 3 candidates elected, that would be that. So whether we really need to conduct a formal election really depends on the interpretation of the statute. To save ourselves all this trouble again, Laguna Woods is championing a lobbying effort in Sacramento to change the law to specifically provide that in an uncontested election, you can have election by acclamation. The legislature has passed it. It's on the governor's desk, and if he signs it, that takes care of the problem. But there's a furious attempt to convince the the governor to veto it. And if he vetoes it, we're back in the same position we are right now. There is a school of thought that believes that all of this, including the lobbying effort, is totally unnecessary, that our bylaws, as I explained, doesn't require a vote, because if you don't have a vote, you don't have to follow the statute. Viewed that way, the statute would just not apply. I happen to be of that school of thought, and I've written a rather dense legal argument. I mean, it goes along, it's like 9 pages single-spaced in its favor. And if anyone is interested, they can just email me, and I'd be happy to send them my brief.
Okay.
Hopefully the governor will sign the current bill, and it'll all become academic. But if he vetoes it, this issue, rest assured, is not going away anytime soon.
Okay.
Really interesting issues. The landscape department is working with the Orange County Fire Authority to clear away vegetation on our western border. Right. Given the number of fires that we've had locally recently, it's really, none too soon. I think the closest one was the fire at the Wood Canyon. Came right up against
over
University.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
yes.
Really something. There is something I think is extremely important, and it doesn't get enough publicity. I'm on the, I periodically appear on the executive committee hearings. We have disciplinary hearings and damage hearings.
Right.
And invariably, almost the only damage hearings we ever have concern water damage. And they come from 2 places. It comes from the ice maker going to the refrigerator, and it comes from leaking hot water heaters. And both of these issues can be easily avoided. Anyone with a refrigerator with an ice maker is a sitting duck for something like this. And it is so easy to avoid that problem. Pull the refrigerator out, or get a handyman to pull the refrigerator out, and it's almost certain that there's going to be an old copper tube that runs there, and these copper tubes break. So the easy way of handling that problem is to disconnect the copper tube and put in a steel braided flexible hose.
Right. Yeah.
And if you're not right next to your sink, somebody may have to drill a hole in your cabinet, but it really is just unscrew them and put this new, hose in. We recently changed our refrigerator, and I did it myself. I mean, it really, really is easy.
And something, I want to mention along those lines, because it's something that we did.
Yeah.
We don't use our ice maker in ours. However, there is a little spigot in the back, that there is a connection.
Yes.
Make sure, we did this years ago when we moved in, is cap off that connection just to be on the safe side. It's usually a little T-valve.
Right.
And those can leak as well, but if you cap that off, you're safe. So you may have that there, but you choose not to use it.
Yeah, and these are really important, because somebody on an LH21 or a Garden Villa apartment, if you're on the 3rd floor and you have a water leak, you're not going to just have to fix your leak and have a dry down, which is expensive and a pain in the neck, but you may wind up paying for the damage, for the people below you. The next one is the hot water heater, and this is really easy, and I'm sure most people just don't do the simplest thing to protect themselves. On your water heater is a date, the date installed. And if that date is more than 10 years old, get that thing replaced, because that can really be a problem. But there's also, even if it's only 4 or 5 years, you can get it serviced. There are places that advertise like 50 or 60 bucks to actually do a flush. They can change the anode tube, and essentially it becomes like a new and refreshed water heater, and most people just don't do it. So that is my...
All right, you want to talk about ridge route, right? In the wall on
there?
Well,
yeah, on ridge route, we have finally, there was this problem with ridge route because there was this big camouflage, there was a thicket, this jungle on the outside of our very short wall, and it was becoming a homeless encampment.
You're right.
So what we did was we went in there and really cleaned it out. I mean, when you're riding down Ridge Route Drive now, you can see.
Yes.
You can see right through. Nothing is perfect, and one of the problems is, well, we're putting, ultimately we're looking to contract out Shepherd's Crook, which will raise the bar to 7 feet. But in addition to that, this was a nice, quiet, private area in back of cul-de-sac 212.
Right.
Now you can see from the street right into somebody's window. So the landscape department is taking it upon itself to come up with some cute little ideas to keep it open, but also to camouflage it from the outside. Landscape is also working on turf conversion, and it is we are now committed to proposing major turf reduction, converting to drought tolerant landscape. And the thing that's really surprising, particularly because we have all of this often beautiful lawn, is the support that we have gotten from our determination to start to convert to drought-resistant landscape. In the last 2 meetings, we have literally had people cheering in the, from the audience when we said we were going to be doing that. We've been visiting many communities. I've gone to Ocean Ranch, which is about 12 miles south of us. There are 4 community developments in what used to be, in the Great Park area, used to be the marine terminal.
Yeah.
And every single one of those communities have exclusively drought-resistant
yes, they do.
Planting. And we've gone out there with Bruce. We've toured it 2 or 3 times. I went out there last week and took about 150 photographs of the individual plants. We're working on a plant palette. We're in touch with the guy who actually designed the entire development out there, Ken Smith, a hotshot landscape architect in New York City. We're also speaking to the people who did Orchard Ranch with the idea of coming in and giving us some ideas. So it looks like this is something that is an idea whose time has come. We can save, 70% of our water, 60% of our labor costs, and like 80% of our green waste costs. So it makes a lot of sense to be doing this. Next subject, Shakespeare on the Patio is coming back by popular demand. The old prose biennial program. It's going to be on the patio in the courtyard of Clubhouse 1 on Sunday and Monday evenings. We fill the patio with round tables. People come in. Last year, both shows were essentially sold out. So, get there like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And, picnic, bring your own food and et cetera. As Cole Porter once said in Kiss Me, Kate, this is a great way to brush up your Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it will be. It always is.
Yes.
Yeah, very enjoyable.
Yeah. The El Toro Water District has now finished laying the pipes and completely redoing the road work. So they finished the excavation. Now they're connecting the lines, and in the next couple of months they're going to be testing it just to make sure that there's no runoff or bleeding running between the irrigation, lines and
that'll be all nice when that's
and potable water.
Done. Yeah.
Yes, but that's going to save us a little bit of money as well.
Yeah. So very good. So we'll see what happens in the future for uncontested elections.
Well, that's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
it won't affect this one.
Hopefully, the governor will sign it,
Yeah.
and we won't have this problem anymore.
Yeah.
If he doesn't sign it, this issue is going to be back on our front burner real soon.
Yeah, it probably will be.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure to see you.
I appreciate it. You take care.
You too.
And we'll see you again soon, and we'll be back.
Thank you.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Through my window, I see the first sunlight, and I feel the warm ocean breeze. I see the waves that lulled me all night. That's what my window brings me.
Look at this.
That view is $1 million.
It's amazing we can look at these kinds of places within our budget.
You don't have a bad view from here anywhere you look.
It's all about the view. Sunday night is beach night. Sunday night at 8, only on HGTV.
I did whatever I felt I had to in order to feed my addiction. I couldn't fight it anymore, but I didn't know how to stop. When I hit bottom, my family intervened and found beginnings treatment centers. Today, I'm not a slave to my addiction. I have my family and my life back. I hope and pray that if you or a loved one needs help, that you make the call like I did.
Hi, I'm Brian Rott, President and CEO of Cart Mart here in Laguna Woods. My family's been in the golf cart business since 1959, and we win our customers over with the simple belief of we treat you right. We are proud to be the authorized dealer for Club Car here in Orange County and your go-to source for the sales and service to other major brands. We're conveniently located on El Toro Road, just minutes from Laguna Woods. So come by and see for yourself, while when doing business with Cart Mart, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
When other dealers say no, Capistrano Toyota says, yes, we can. Low payments? Yes, we can. Low financing for all types of credit? Yes, we can. Capistrano Toyota features 10 acres of new and certified pre-owned Toyotas, plus many used cars priced below $10,000. When other dealers say no, Capistrano Toyota says, yes, we can. Exit the 5 freeway at Camino Capistrano.
At El Toro Pharmacy, your health needs and your quality of life is our top priority. We can be trusted with all your prescription needs, delivered free to your doorstep. Call us to have your prescription transferred. We will take care of everything. No hassle to you. We are a full-service pharmacy carrying all your over-the-counter medicines at competitive prices. And we offer complete diabetic care and your immunization requirements too. Under new management, come visit us in Moulton Plaza. El Toro Pharmacy will never be undersold, and we offer the finest after-sales services.
From the Village Library, and this time you're going to be talking about something new that people can take advantage of, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's unusual, and I've been on a couple times in the last 2 months talking about the fact that we are extending our hours into Wednesday evening,
which is great. How's it been going? Have you been getting people?
We've been averaging about 10, but I'm happy that all of them people who have come in have been really appreciative. So I'm hoping to expand it. But because we normally have 80 people come in on a shift, I wasn't really busy, so I started looking into the application, what's there, and I saw this feature, Reserve Express it's called, so we're going to try it out. And what it is will allow people to identify their favorite authors, and then when that author comes out with a new book, we will automatically reserve it for them.
So even if you don't have the book yet, it's kind of like, in a way, it reminds me of you order something on Amazon and maybe it says out of stock or something, we'll notify you when it's ready. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, or sometimes they'll send you an email and they'll say, oh, you've purchased from this author before and they have a new book, and then you find out it's a year from now.
Yeah.
Well, now you can go onto our system, and if it's one of the ones we've selected, and select that person's name, you can forget it. And when that book comes out, you'll get put on the reserve list, and when your turn is up, you'll get automatically notified that it's ready for you to pick up.
Very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, will that be something that the application does, or you folks at the library will contact the person? You'll get a list? Or?
When it's the reserve's actually ready for them, just like today, if they have an email address in our system, the system will email them to say their reserve is ready. If they don't, then we call them.
All right.
But yes, so the big thing is making sure that people go on and identify their favorite authors. So the first thing that you would do is log into your catalog account and select up at the top, My Account, and then it'll bring up your name. So here, this is a training account that we've set up, hold for processing training.
Yes.
But it would normally be welcome in your name.
Yeah.
So then the next thing you would do is select under that arrow, Reserve Request, and then this screen comes up, and there's a couple options for reserves or requesting books. And the first one there now says receive new books because we turned this on. So if you have a favorite author, arrange to receive new books by the selected authors automatically. So you pick that, receive new books, and it'll come up. And here's a partial list of the authors that we've selected already.
Okay.
So I had pulled a list out of the system of all the books that were checked out this year. And I calculated what were the most popular authors that people actually checked out. And the top 15, I think, I selected. So like Patterson and Danielle Steele and Grisham, Stuart Woods, the perennial favorites of our residents here. Then also our book buying committee is meeting next week, next Friday, and we get a look ahead, booking ahead it's called, of what books are coming out in the next couple months. And and then the book committee decides. So we know who the favorites are. But for example, Lee Child, Louise Penny, J.D. Robb are coming out with new books in the next couple months. And they're favorites of our people. So I've selected those names. And they will show up in this list. So now people log into their account, go down and pick one of these authors. It'll get highlighted and it'll be darker. And then when those books get added into the catalog, they'll automatically get put on the reserve list.
Okay, now how will it work? Let's say there's 5 people wanting a certain book that's coming out. First come, first serve, basically?
No, actually it's random. We even tested this out yesterday. So if 5 people go on today and pick the Louise Penny as their favorite author, when her book comes out, it'll randomly assign those people to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
And then next time, if there's another author, it'll be a different random pattern.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so some people might, maybe they're really good at watching the catalog and jumping on fast, but
but I think this is really good. You know, It's interesting. Some of those authors I didn't even know were still writing books.
Yeah, right. Well, and that's one of the things that the application says. Don't bother selecting an author that's no longer alive because they won't have any new books coming out.
Right. Well, I've looked at that list. I didn't know, I don't really follow it. Like, I didn't know, is John Grisham still alive and Danielle Steele?
Absolutely. And oh my gosh, Danielle Steele, she comes out, it seems like every 6 months she's got a new book.
Wow.
Yeah. Some of them, they only have one a year, like John Sanford or Daniel Silva.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I thought they were,
sorry
to the authors, I didn't,
One of the other things that people might be concerned about is that we have a limit. You can only reserve 3 things at a time.
Okay.
But since this is automatic, it overrides that. So you might actually wind up with 5 reserves on your list. If you already had 3 reserves, it'll still let this happen and be on your reserve list.
So you can have up to 5?
Well, no, it'll be whatever. But hopefully we won't have like 5 favorite authors all in the same month. So because people can't read that fast.
Yeah. All right. I think that's fantastic. Very good.
I think people will really once we get them on board, they'll be happy. They won't have to think about it. The other thing is, if your favorite author is not on our list, just let them know at the front desk. We already have a form ready. You can fill it out, and we'll be happy to add that author.
Okay, they can reserve that way as well?
They can always go on reserve the normal way.
Okay, all right.
But we will be happy to add their author as a favorite.
Okay, all right, very good. Well, thank you very much. That's great that people can do that.
Yes.
And check out the library. Go over and just kind of acquaint yourself if you haven't been there before. They have a lot to offer besides books and DVDs and magazines and puzzles and all kinds of different things.
Yes, we love it.
Yes. All right, thank you very much.
Thanks, Kim.
Yeah, very good. I like this.
Yeah.
I'm glad the Wednesdays are going good. We'll be back. Yeah, man.
Imagine if you'd grown up with a video documentary of your great-great-grandparents. Family Chronology is a family-owned business here to help you tell your story in your own unique way, in order to ensure that your legacy is passed down to your descendants for centuries to come.
Pretty much, they have been my life in recent years since they were born. They have been the focus of my attention, along with my daughter and my son and my son-in-law too. But the grandkids especially have been my focus. And I've enjoyed every minute of it.
Welcome. Our subject today is breast density and early detection. Today I have Dr. John West, who's going to give us a little history about himself as well as his specialty in breast density. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you. It's great to be here, and it's a fascinating subject, and it's so important. Right. This is maybe one of the most important interviews you'll do, because women are dying needlessly because of delayed cancer diagnosis, and it's easily fixed. It's not complicated, but the women don't know about it. We're going to tell them.
Okay,
they can read my book and a whole chapter on it, but this is so important. I can't overemphasize the importance as a breast surgeon to get the word out on breast density.
All right, well, let's talk a little bit about your history real quick and just kind of give us an overview of what you've done.
Okay, well, I've been in Orange County since 1973. Believe it or not, that's 45 years, hard to believe. I started out in interest in vascular surgery and trauma. And the last thing I wanted to do was breast surgery, because then we were doing radical mastectomies, and it was mutilating. I hated it. It was disfiguring. But after about 10 years in practice, we started coming up with mammography that was readily available. We came up with good, effective chemotherapy. We didn't have that before. We came up with reconstructive. My son's a plastic surgeon. We work together as a team, so I take it off, he puts it back on. But women, many of our women after breast cancer surgery say, well, I haven't looked this good in years, because they become youthful contour, and we take good care of them.
Right, right, good. Okay, excellent. And then, so now let's talk a little bit about the difference between breast densities. So I know we talked a little bit beforehand. How do we know the difference, and what are they?
That's a great question, because 99% of my patients come in and say, I have dense breasts. Well, you examine your breasts and it feels all lumpy, which breasts do. That's a normal sign of, that's just a normal breast to be lumpy. You can only tell on the mammogram. So forget trying to guess. If your mammogram report now by law either says you're primarily fatty or you're dense. If you have a more fatty breast, you don't have to worry. There's no extra imaging. And about half the women have a fatty breast, and half the women have a dense breast. At the younger age, it's a little more women are dense, but some women over time will convert from dense to fatty if they're lucky. Not every woman does that. But if your mammogram, you need to know what your mammogram says. It's not enough to say negative. negative is not negative if you have dense breasts. So now, even though this has not been emphasized, women must be educated to learn that if their breasts are dense, they need more imaging or they may miss a cancer and suffer the consequences.
Right, right. And so how does a patient know whether they should ask the doctor or how do they know?
Well, here's how it works, and it's a little discoordinated. There's a law now saying that the doctor that orders the mammogram will get a report, and it's his duty that if it's dense to tell a patient the mammogram doesn't work as well and you either need an ultrasound or an MRI.
Okay.
Those are the two basic options. But the doctors are so busy now, they get the report back saying negative, and so they tell a patient it's negative. That's not enough. And the patients have to take control of this, or the women have to take control. The doctors, it's less than 1% of the doctors inform the patient.
Right.
This is tragic.
Right.
But the women need to know to ask, just because it's negative, was I dense or not dense? It'll be written in every mammogram.
Okay.
So there's 4 categories: fatty, predominantly fatty, that's the half that are non-dense, and then there's dense and extremely dense. So if you're extremely dense, you really need the MRI, and you're at higher risk for breast cancer. It's an independent risk factor.
Okay. And tell me why it is important for a woman to know whether or not she has dense breasts. I know we talked about it earlier. What is the extreme importance?
Well, this is a whole theme in my book, that if you want to get ideal breast care, you've got to take control. You've got to learn to do mammograms. You've got to know to get the right imaging. You know how to put this whole thing together: eat right, exercise, etc. And we just need to motivate women to take control of their health.
Right.
So if they're going to get a mammogram and it says negative, they have to, which category am I in?
Yes.
And if the doctor doesn't want to explain it, they can read the report. The report says that you're in this category, you need extra imaging. Call up the imaging place or call us, whatever. Call your doctor and say, hey, I want more information. If the doctor doesn't really provide you good information, and many of them won't, then you go to one of the breast centers like BreastLink, and you can get an answer. You can just phone in. You don't have to go pay the money or whatever. You call us, and we just feel that empowered about that. It's just so critical that they have that information.
Right. And other things that we can do to help prevent breast cancer. What are some other things?
Well, there's 2 ways of looking at breast cancer. One is catching it early, which really mostly our strategy, but the other is preventing it. So one example, let's take a woman who has the gene positive, very strong family history. She goes in for genetic testing. She tests positive for the BRCA gene. She looks at all her options. She says, well, I want bilateral mastectomy with reconstruction. You're going to prevent a cancer in that case, but that's pretty rare. And so prevention is really difficult. We know there's a drug, tamoxifen, that lowers your risk of getting breast cancer, but we really only use that for women who've had estrogen-positive breast cancer, estrogen-positive breast cancer. The general public generally doesn't want it because too many side effects.
Right.
So prevention is, you can exercise, you can eat right, limit the sugars and the carbs in your diet, keep your weight under control. Those are the 3 big things. Smoking seems to be correlated. So there are things you can do, but the big thing that women need to know now is early detection through imaging. The mammogram is wonderful, but it had one major problem up to a few years ago. We were missing small cancers, and they would come to us with a normal mammogram 2 or 3 years in a row and then present with a large cancer. I said, well, how could that happen? I just had my mammogram 3 or 4 months ago. Well, that cancer was there 3 years ago. They would have picked it up on ultrasound in all probability, not 100%, in all probability, and they could have saved their life.
Okay. So now ultrasound, is it done in the same location as the mammographies?
Well, different places. Most imaging centers can do the screening. Okay. It's very time consuming. And they don't push it very hard because it's not very profitable. Sure. And that's why it was hard for us to really get a robust program going. But after a while, they saw the advantage of it. Right. So at BreastLink, you can call a BreastLink facility and have no problem. But Hoag Hospital, St. Joe's Hospital, all these major hospitals have imaging centers. So if you're affiliated with Mission Community Hospital, you call them, they'll help you out.
Okay, great. Is there an age at what time that we're supposed to be educating young women about, how to do the self-exams and what to look out for? Well,
I wrote a whole chapter on this, but self-exam is underutilized. It's been poo-pooed by a lot of experts, but you can find a small cancer if you know your breast and you do it regularly and you follow my recommendations. They're different from the recommendations from the Cancer Society, because I've learned how to teach women to do breast self-exam with confidence and what to do if they find a subtle change. And we've saved lives because of that. So when do you start? That's a great question, and there's no crystal clear answer. Some young women, teenage girls, are interested in saying, well, what should I be doing? And so they should be told, you know, don't do it before your period. Do it 5 to 10 days after your period. Go to a doctor or a nurse, have an exam, make sure everything's normal, and then check it when it's normal. Don't go looking for lumps. Just learn the pattern of the normal. Do it once a month, and if something grows in there, you'll go, ooh, that feels different. Then you go in to see the doctor. And most of the time it won't be cancer, but if it is a cancer, you're going to save a life.
Okay, all right. And then as we age, is it harder to find a lump or easier?
Well, women as they age are more likely to have fatty breasts, so they tend to be a little easier to examine, but there's a lot of overlap on that. So younger women tend to have the dense breasts, and so we tend to miss more if we're not doing the ultrasound. But if you add the ultrasound into the equation, it's pretty much equal. But the reason it's harder in the younger women is they have more likely to have dense breasts, and most of them are not getting appropriate imaging with the ultrasound or MRI.
And going back to some of the treatments, I know there's a lot of different treatments now that are being offered, and it's kind of specific to the type of cancer that someone has. In your opinion, what would you say has been some of the best advancements that we've seen in technology?
Well, I've basically been lucky enough to see all of them. I actually started up in trauma care, and I was the first to develop Orange County into a regional trauma system, and then that was the first one in the nation, and I was really proud of it. And the basics of the trauma center is you have the surgeon and the neurosurgeon, the orthopedist, all the specialists, the anesthesia in the hospital all the time. And when I started wearing out, because that's really tough to do, they call you in the middle of the night, and I was getting a little older, things were changing in breast care. So chemotherapy, they didn't have chemotherapy when I started. The imaging was primitive, I mean really primitive. And they didn't have, reconstruction was almost unheard of. There were maybe Mayo Clinic or someplace you could get it, but it wasn't. But all of a sudden it changed, it just changed almost overnight. The imaging got extremely good. It took a couple of years, but it got extremely good. The plastic surgeons became fascinated with it. The oncologists, you know, really had an important role in it. And finally, I said, just like a trauma center, you need a team approach to breast care. So you need to have mammographic screening, dense breast, get the ultrasound. If they have a problem or a symptom or have a question, come in and see us. We'll do a simple exam. We'll give them the advice. They can either follow with us once a year, or you know, they can just go out on their own and see us if there's a problem. If they do have a cancer, we're going to likely catch it really early. The treatment then is almost always a lumpectomy. One of our big goals is to get around the cancer and clear the margins on the first operation. So if you have a D or double D breast and you have a average size, quarter size cancer in the breast, you can take out that cancer with a very wide margin. Then I let the plastic surgeon bring everything up, kind of youthful contour. The nipples are pointing, you know, straight ahead rather than down. And you match the other side, and these women can't keep their tops on. I say, look, will you wait until we get you into an exam room? I know you're pleased. I know you like what you got, but, you know, hold on. It is great to have patients say, you know, you look at them, you go, I can't believe how good you look. She says, I can't either. I went through cancer, and this is how I look. This is fantastic. Even with mastectomies now, we're doing a lot of nipple-sparing mastectomy. Some of those women, again, we change the shape, and we get an actual better shape. And the nipples look pretty much normal in most cases. They can lose sensation. That's the downside of it. But it's really, from a cosmetic point of view, it's step forward. Not every woman can we save the breast, and so sometimes, but the reconstructed nipples are really good. So we really want every woman who goes through breast cancer to get through it and say, I look as good as or better than I did before. And we hit that mark 90% of the time.
So tell me about your book a little bit. I know you have the title here.
Yes, that is Prevent, Survive, Thrive, Every Woman's Guide to Optimal Breast Care. And this covers it from A to Z. There's a lot more information on breast density. We just don't have time. The same with breast self-exam, the same with early detection, the diet and exercise, and all the things you can do. And then if you are diagnosed with breast cancer, there's a whole chapter on what you can do to make sure you understand what the doctor's saying and what kind of questions you should ask. So I think it's very valuable. Many of my patients have been very pleased with it.
Okay, kind of a guide to know it all, right?
It's exactly right. All your questions are answered.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much. It was very nice to meet you. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
And thank you for being with us.
Hiring a realtor you trust is the first step in selling your home. Selecting an escrow company that can safeguard your money and personal information throughout the transaction is the next step. Escrow Options will guarantee the safety of your personal information and funds from the risks of wire fraud and cyber theft. Choose the escrow company that works for you. Escrow Options Group, protecting consumer assets in escrow since 2005.
Well, from the California Club, I'd like to welcome McKay Crampton. Am I right?
That's right.
Nice to have you here today.
It's nice to be here.
And it's funny, we're California Club and we're sitting here chatting about Washington, D.C. and other places.
Yes.
But great to have you here today. And what you're going to talk about, there's so many different events that the California Club is going to be having coming up really into next year. And one of the first ones, or is the first one at least coming up, is on September 25th. You are going to have, basically, it's like a tribute to ABBA, right?
Yes.
It's going to be a dinner and music.
Yes. I don't know whether our audience is familiar with the California Club. Maybe I should just give a little promotion here. We are a club that is for people who like to get dressed up once a month and be entertained and have a wonderful dinner catered by Yolanda, who is the best.
Yes.
And who like to dance. And it's a wonderful, it's a bargain.
Yeah,
it really is. You don't have to be a member to come to one of our nights. We're always the fourth Tuesday evening at Clubhouse 5. You certainly don't have to be a member, but it is always good. We would love to have you join because you do get a $5 discount on the dinners.
And like I said,
perks.
the first one is coming up, the one that you're going to have, the Ultimate ABBA. And this is a performance by a group that comes in.
Yes.
Sings all the famous ABBA songs.
They're one of the best ABBA tribute groups. And we are very excited to have them. The timing is perfect with the new Mamma Mia sequel coming out. And yes, they're going to perform for an hour. We have dancing in the beginning of the evening, and then it's dinner, and then after dinner we have the performers, and then there's another hour of dancing after the performance. A lot of fun.
And this will be, again, Tuesday, September 25th,
This is Tuesday, September 25th, yes. As I said, the fourth Tuesday of the month. Except for November, because of Thanksgiving, we usually have to do it the week either before or after.
Now, for reservations, people need to reserve and then pick
their
dining option, or is it a buffet?
We offer a different menu, of course, each month.
Okay.
Yolanda, we have a wonderful dinner committee who works with Yolanda on the menu. And for ABBA, for instance, we have prime rib.
Okay.
And the next month we have Barbara Streisand impersonator. Her name is Rebecca Clark. She even looks like Streisand, and she is incredible.
Yeah,
she really is. And that night, for instance, for dinner we will have a New York strip steak.
Okay.
So we have, just as I said, a wonderful evening. It's a real bargain. So.
Now, you know, the next one I'm looking at, because you have a lot coming up.
We do.
That I wanted to ask about, because I'm not too sure about this. November 27th, Ron and Lisa.
Ron and Lisa are a couple who are, I believe, from the Palm Springs area, but they are a married couple, a real couple in real life, and they just have a wonderful persona. They look like they're terribly in love when they're singing.
So they sing.
And I'm sure they are.
They sing a variety of music.
They sing a variety of music, and of course they're very, very good with each other, which makes it even nicer. Their abilities, their singing abilities are outstanding.
So a good variety of music.
Yes, then, very good variety.
Even though we're coming into next year, but just we can go over this kind of quickly. You have the Beach Boys. We know those people, Woody and the Longboards. They were just
Woody
here
and the Longboards is the Beach Boys tribute band that we are having, and it's going to be a California surfing night.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of.
Yeah. We try and have a theme each month.
Do people have to dress formal that night for California surfing?
Oh no, not at all. Our dress code is usually cocktail attire. We do have 3 formal evenings.
Yeah, so it's
during
nice.
The year. We have it's a 9-month schedule. We're dark in December and we're dark July and August.
Yeah, so there's a lot coming up, and if people want to find out all this, just go to the club pages, go to California
Absolutely,
Club.
Yes, and there'll be a reservation form there.
Yeah, I have on here, you can see they have a direct website, California Club of LagunaWoodsVillage.com. Get your information there, 949-309-8822. So obviously the one you're going to want to look into quickly is the ABBA one coming up on September 25th.
Exactly.
So you can find out information there or give them a call and make your reservation. Do they pay at the door? Is that how that works?
No, you do need to pay ahead.
Okay.
Just because of the dinner. We need to know how many dinners.
And that way you can get all that set up. But remember, September 25th at Clubhouse 5, that's the one coming up first, and you get the great music of ABBA.
Right. Now I have to say we have a Frank Sinatra impersonator at the very end of our season, which would be June 25th.
Yeah, and Tango by Lawn Dance.
He also looks just like Sinatra, just as our Barbra Streisand impersonator looks like.
So a lot of good things coming up, and you can check that all out online.
And we'd love to see you there.
Yeah.
We just have a lot lot of fun, and I hope you'll join us. Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I hope to see you back here again.
I hope to be back here again.
You take care. And again, that first one, ABBA, September 25th. So if you'd like to see that tribute band, have a nice, wonderful dinner, please contact the California Club at 309-8822, or you can go online. Just go to our club pages, and that's the best way to link up. That way you don't have to remember any website or anything like that, but it'll link right up to them. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Good to see you. We'll be right back. Yeah, that's Hey Laguna Woods, it's Ken.
And Lisa.
Did you miss an episode of This Day? Not to worry. Head over to youtube.com and search Village Television.
Here you can find each episode of This Day and other community programs such as Good Day OC, Discovering Laguna Woods, and much more.
Just click the red subscribe button, then click the bell to be emailed every time we upload a video.
Don't miss out.
And subscribe today.
Looking for a change of scenery? You don't have to play golf to enjoy all that 19 Restaurant and Lounge has to offer. From a delicious breakfast menu to our delectable lunch and dinner specials. At 19 Restaurant and Lounge, there is something for everyone. Relax with your friends and family and take in the beautiful view from our spacious patio. Or enjoy a cocktail and appetizer in our lounge. 19 Restaurant and Lounge is a great place to socialize, enjoy a meal, or simply take in the view. Join us 7 days a week and experience Laguna Woods' exclusive dining experience.
If your loved one is struggling, trying to maintain independence in their home, ActiCare can help. Our caregivers provide home care services to relieve the strain placed on family and make staying at home possible. Don't let another day go by without getting the care they deserve.
We can provide your loved one the care they need and motivation, and give you peace of mind. Please call to set up a free care consultation.
ActiCare, responsive in-home care. Your first day is free.
Family Chronology is a family-owned business here to help you tell your story in your own unique way, in order to ensure that your legacy is passed down to your descendants for centuries to come. Imagine if you'd grown up with a video documentary of your great-great-grandparents.
You know, I've never met them, unfortunately.
Imagine your children hearing from them directly, how they thought, how they lived, the unique experiences they would have to share. Those experiences enriching the lives of generations they never got to meet. This is what you're doing for your family's benefit. We want to help you tell your story your way.
And our movie today is a documentary called Always at the Carlisle, which showcases the famous hotel that have been around for decades in New York, that has been host to jet setters, actors, actresses, political figures, even royalty. And a really good film. It has a lot of different commentary. You just saw George Clooney there, from people who have stayed there over the years and still stay there, and you get back and learn the history. Really great. On today at 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock, there were no subtitles on the version that we got, so the 2 o'clock and 6 o'clock are the same non-subtitled version. I think you will really enjoy this. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm looking forward to the weather, because the morning marine layer is back, which I personally love. Cools us off and keeps those temperatures low. Actually kind of below normal temperatures right now, especially on Wednesday. So thicker marine layer is forecasted for the next couple days, less so on Thursday. And then we have Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Things will warm up again and get to the high 80s. Probably not as warm as we had over this weekend, but warm up a little bit. So overall, really nice weather. And around the county today, beaches are going to hover in the mid-70s. Everywhere else, pretty much in the low to mid-80s. All right, we will see you tomorrow. And have a good Monday, and check out Always at the Carlisle movie. Highly recommend it. Really good. See you tomorrow.